What a week, what a week. Blake Hart here, another video. This one is important. I've seen a lot of videos this past week all talking about the coronavirus and how it's impacting small business, and this one is so important. I did a video a while ago, card I'll put up here, about a DJ contract that's a pretty solid contract, a template that you can download for free and revise to suit your business. But one of the clauses in there is the all-important force majeure clause. And what that addresses is if there is an act of God, something that's out of control, out of your control. It's in my head right now, I'm thinking of everything going on right now, but out of your control, out of the control of the party with which you've contracted, whether it is a wedding and a couple getting married, or somebody for an anniversary party, or whatever you're doing or you're DJing. If it is completely out of your control that the event cannot take place as you specified in that contract, then basically, you don't have to do it. You don't, the contract itself, is, that's fine, right? You can't do it. You can't do it on the date that you've specified. Now, within this clause, you can obviously denote some other things, like the definition, like what is an act of God? I, up until this point of time, had never thought to put in, a pandemic, a virus, a national state of emergency, or state or city state of emergency. I don't think anything like what's going on now has ever entered into our minds. But obviously it's here and it's affecting so many DJs right now. So you put the definition in this clause. So, what are we defining as an act of God here? And then you put in totally like what that means, right? Like, what are you going to do with the deposit? What about rescheduling? Basically, when we're using this contract that we have as accountability in terms of, as the DJ, I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do for you. But these are the things that we're taking into consideration in terms of being able to fulfill this contract. So one of the issues coming up right now is deposits. Unfortunately, and I say this unfortunately because as a business, it's tough, right? You have a lot of overhead, you have a lot of expenses. You get these deposits for an event that's not going to happen for, a whole nother year, but you may take that money and invest it in equipment or something. So you may not have the deposit the couple or person gave you to give back to them in the event that you have to. You can address something like that in the contract. Obviously, it's not really good business to basically keep somebody's deposit, assuming you can at some point in time actually fulfill the contract, right? So in these cases, rescheduling of the event. But here's what I want to tell you is that you really need to also use this clause to state what's happening with your deposit. So like in the event that it is impossible for both parties to reschedule, the deposit is forfeited to the DJ, even though no services were able to be provided. Okay, so something like that is something that could protect your butt, potentially an event like this, because I believe that you should technically take that deposit and put it into your savings account and not use it until you've actually performed and provided the services. I know that I would be surprised. I'm sure the percentage of people, or DJs rather, that do that is probably very, very small. But you think of a situation like this and like, what if you can't reschedule these weddings, for example, because, these couples are going to try to reschedule in the fall and you've already got weddings booked on the dates that maybe they were able to get this other venue for, and it becomes this really big mess. And, as a DJ, you've already spent time with this couple, probably, closing the deal, and maybe sometime, like with that relationship you've established. And it may be hard, depending on what your deposit is. Like maybe your deposit's like $200. I'm sure it's more than that. But, maybe you don't really want to be in the situation where you have to give it back. I think good business with what's going on right now is accepting the fact that if you cannot fulfill your obligations, you are going to give that deposit back to the couple. But it's just a big mess in general, okay? So what I'm trying to get across with this video is if you are unsure of your contract, that you're using with the parties you're contracting with. There's a download link down there, totally free. I don't even take your email. I probably should, but you literally just go ahead, get that contract template, use that. I've updated to actually put more specifics in the force majeure clause that I have in that contract to address pandemics and national state of emergencies, and to address keeping a deposit if it's impossible to reschedule. You may want to take a look at that and consult with your own attorney and really drill into the details to fit what services you're providing or what's going to work best for your business, okay? But it's somewhere to start at least. So I wanted to do that for you all. I know everyone's scurrying around right now because there's probably a lot of you that don't have this clause in your contract. There's probably a lot of you that maybe don't even have a contract. Get a contract, please. That's like so important. But with this, hopefully I've helped some of you. I wish you all the best out there. I remember a few years ago when there were a lot of hurricanes happening up in like the Boston area, and even with Hurricane Sandy down, in New Jersey and New York, there were a lot of photographers at the time that I was in contact with that, were coming across these similar issues. This affects everybody that's in a service-based type of business who has a contract, right? So even musicians and bands, caterers, venues, this is the kind of stuff, like this type of clause, like all of these service-based businesses, you really need to think about this because I've seen it happen too many times at this point. And even now, like I said, like I've never seen something like what's going on right now, right? You can't have your event because whether it's not safe or whatever the case, but literally the state is saying, you can't have a gathering of more than 50 people, let's say, or a venue has to be at 50% capacity, or in general, it's just not safe for the guest and the couple doesn't want to have their wedding because it's just crazy. No one's going to come. Crazy times. So I hope you all stay healthy. I hope you all are smart. And I hope that this video helps you and that you download that template contract down there and it helps you in your business. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, as well as that bell so you get the notification the next time videos come out. I post videos on a lot of different topics. DJing is one of them, but also music production, business related to both of those. So that's really my gig, and having fun doing it. So thank you all for watching this video. Stay safe. I'll see you again soon.